It's the NFL on EA Sports. And coming up next, it's a cross-conference showdown. It's the New York Giants and the Cleveland Browns. Coming up next.
Fun times in Cleveland ahead as we join you by the Lakeshore here at Cleveland Browns Stadium.
Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
The kicker, Graham Gano, set to put his foot into this one. And off we go from Cleveland. And look at this. Right away, a loose football.
And it looks like the defense has got it.
And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And how about that for some fireworks to start this one?
And the fireworks turned out to be for the kicking team, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, go down there, make a play, knock it free, and end up with the football. And for the team who's supposed to have the ball, now their defense has to run out on the field and see if they can slow things down a bit.
A quick scramble for the helmets, and now we switch sides. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 25 yards that time.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Singletary will take this one in. Touchdown, New York. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Extra point try good by Gano, and that makes the score 7-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski.
The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
And after 2 consecutive seasons where he played just 12 games combined, they're hoping that this is a year where Watson finally shows that he was worthy of that massive contract they received back in 2022. Not that long ago, we were talking about him as one of the top quarterbacks in the league. And if he gets back on track, this team can make some serious noise as the year unfolds.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up second down.
At the 32-yard line.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
And he works free. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run.
Still going.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Amari Cooper, 67 yards.
And the Browns are an extra point away from drawing level.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And we are tied at 7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it's Amari Cooper who finishes it off with a touchdown reception.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Throwing, Jones.
That one finds Hyatt.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5.
Now Jones.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Out to his left. Past the 20. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 17-yard line. 7-7, our score after 1. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Singletary. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
2nd down and 8.
Looking to throw. Jones. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown.
Malik Neighbors.
A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants have taken the lead.
So, Charles, they had him double covered in the end zone. It still was not enough.
I wonder if they're thinking to themselves now, 2 didn't work. Do we go for 3 guys on him next time? Because he fought through all that extra attention, got himself into a great position where his quarterback felt confident enough to challenge the coverage and threw it his way. What a big-time play right there, both by the quarterback trusting him and by him going up and getting it.
Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And that's pretty good coverage by the kick team, as he'll only be able to get this past the 15-yard line and no further.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense.
After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Watson.
That's to the former Bronco, Jerry Jeudy.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
During the offseason, the Browns talked about becoming more explosive on offense, and they acquired Jeudy from Denver this offseason in hopes that he could be a major asset to their passing game. And here he is making his presence felt as he picks up a new set of downs for this offense.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Here's Watson. Throw left side. Now the ball comes loose. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Jones. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go to the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack. Put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. One carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball, got a full game ahead of him, hand it to him again, see if they can start to produce.
Yeah, that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Watson now to throw. He's going to look end zone here for Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Jones, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw.
That's caught left side by Neighbors.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 1st down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted.
Ronnie Hickman with a pick. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now it's Watson. That is caught and past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Watson hooking up with Cooper there for the Cleveland first.
They'll look to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. This is Ford. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Giants offense set to begin this 3rd quarter. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this 3rd quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off play action. Jones. He'll rifle this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
Malik Neighbors
with his second touchdown of the night.
And the Giants come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
Gano for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Browns offense and their quarterback Deshaun Watson set to take over once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point.
The Browns drive about to get started.
They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Elijah Moore.
54 yards.
And the Browns are back within a score.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Hopkins with the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was finished off by Elijah Moore on the touchdown reception.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Giants offense and Daniel Jones set to take over again. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
Out of the gun now on third down. Under pressure, and they got to him again. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And good coverage there by the punt team. They're able to get down there and drop him with authority. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt, and now a chance to tie the game on this possession.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Watson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. It's a gain of 35.
Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. In motion, the tight end.
Delay of game. Offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Watson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset.
Here we go, 1st and goal.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain.
Well, just a gigantic play here, both sides. This is 3rd and inches. Watson to throw.
Touchdown!
Deshaun Watson on target to David Njoku. And the Browns are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the post, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Giants offense and receiver Malik Neighbors headed onto the field. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Jones.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I don't know if you need the big shot right there or not, because you've still got time to work some of the shorter stuff and try to get into field goal range. They did go for the big one there. It would have been nice, but it winds up incomplete.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Giants have it down the numbers. There he goes. And in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. A fantastic football game and a late lead change here to put this team up. Now they have to respond defensively.
Was that the breakthrough they were looking for? Was that the one that puts them over the top? Unfortunately, there's still time left on the clock. They can't relax yet.
Gano now to add the extra point. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. This is 1st and 10. To throw, Watson.
Flushed out, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Now Watson. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted.
And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
I know some teams are leery about playing cover 2 because the strong safety's not usually a terrific cover guy. But in this case, he played it perfectly. Read the football and went and made the interception.
New York ready to go again offensively.
And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Down to a knee goes Jones, and that should just about seal it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Cleveland.